2. Guard the Leaf from Diary of a Griever Named John Weaver, which is me. I live in Roseman, California, dude. United States, let's talk. And now it's 2:18 in the afternoon on a Friday the 20th, March 2026. Caught the video concerning about Americans not being welcome and wanted in this characterization, assassination, and you're hell-bent on in the first place. While you keep trying to defend yourself that, oh, I know Americans, and I don't think, I'm thinking to myself, you already did it because you already had the topic matter already out there already. You just want to feed your ego. I had been abroad in my time of visiting, and I did not think that we were that totally arrogant. But then again, I really didn't think much when I was a kid traveling abroad. Of course, over the border of Mexico would be, to me, abroad. Going on a cruise ship years later as an adult, back to Mexico was abroad. The funny thing is, I didn't feel like I was being an arrogant person because I was in a foreign country under their rules, their regulations, their laws, subject to whatever happens over there. And hopefully that I wasn't breaking any laws, and I was totally scared shitless of it. And then again, I was also back probably even after a time when we started doing the 9/11 paranoia. Being here in the States, watching the whole country change itself into something else that sometimes I can't even recognize. Yeah. Then I started hearing and watching people and observing. And yeah, at times we were even arrogant and total assholes to each other. And I suppose throughout the country we had that image passed down from generation to generation that we're supposed to be the greatest nation on earth. Came across it through social study classes and history courses and politicians. America was supposed to be the greatest country on earth because we had rules, regulations, laws, but we also had freedom because of the rules, regulations, and laws that people, once they were obeying, we would probably try to demonstrate it. But I'll tell you something, learning more about the darker nature of our own country when you get older, especially when you take college courses to see what exactly the darker nature of our country is. That's what scares the hell out of people and pisses them off. Now, one version or another we were taught growing up. We came over, we were offering gifts, or actually we were trying to fight for survival. The thing is, did we ever realize in those history courses that it was, basically whitewashed? And we had the arrogance to say that we were Americans and we're above everybody else. If I was really studying history and actually had an inkling of what humanity was all about, it was all about two things, dude. Resources and ego. When we go to fighting, when we go conquering, when we go to make our deals, we are acting as if we were the sole bully boys of the world. Have you thought about human history in itself, going way further back than what you're covering? The only reason why we keep fighting towards each other and at each other, we're fighting for ego, we're fighting for resources. Ego, well, fill in a blank on that one. But resources, yeah. Land, personnel, materials. The nature of human beings at this point. This is what we've been doing. Doesn't matter which particular nationality it is. You got to put things in different perspectives. We didn't have international cooperation. The only time we were actually trying to have international cooperation is in the 1800s, or maybe 1700s, 16, 15. We were trying so many times trying to do international relations? I don't think so. We were doing conquering. We had our wars with each other. And if we actually had a treaty, we ripped the damn thing up. It was only during the time of the 20th century, early 20th century, when we were really trying to get into international. I think maybe about the 1800s. We were trying to be international and trying to be cooperative, but we're still arrogant bastards. And it doesn't matter which particular country it was. Could have been your country, could have been my own country. Could have been the next country over. The thing of it is, with our own damn egos, wanting, this is what happens. I'm not excusing the Americans, but I'm not making them on the top of the apex of being the total assholes. Because we're all equally on the same page, including you. Canada must also have its darker natures, otherwise you wouldn't be identifying with it so much. And saying that, well, I'm this and I'm that. Yeah, well, you identify your nationality as if you think that matters more. Just like we Americans say the same damn thing because we expect much. Again, it's ego. Why was the Roman Empire thought itself the greatest thing on earth? Or Genghis Khan and his conquering? Or even Japan? Russia? Some of the little empires running out in Africa? The Aztec nation? We all have our little things that makes us feel like we're better, we're special. Yes, I identify myself as a United States citizen or American. And with that title, one would expect arrogance out of the damn thing. The imperial attitude, the ego. Identify with that one, dude. Currently, we have a regime that we voted in. It was the upbringing of what this asshole was being brought up under. Conning people, wanting. Lying his ass off, stealing, pilfering, pillaging, plundering. Some of us bought the Kool-Aid that he dished out and got sick of it. Slowly dying of it. Ever came across a guy named Jim Jones? Let's see the analogy a little bit there. No? Oh, shit. It's something I had to grow up with. Heard about the guy, saw about the papers, news. Didn't think of it until decades later when instances in history keep reminding us old farts, including this one, how repetitive we are as human beings. And it's only under two particular topics. We fight over limited resources, which are dwindling faster, and our own egos and our own wants are ever increasing. To say that we Americans are the elite of it, boy, you're out of your mind. Because that's also proven the point of your own elitism. Well, how dare they do it? Why can't we? Because we're Canadians. We're doing it because we're Americans. Yeah, I know. But we all have our arrogance. We all have our egos. And at times we get the wrong president in office because we already got our egos overbloated. And it's bad enough when we start picking wars on everybody because our own damn egos demand it. We haven't done enough to limit this or to squash it. The bitch of it is, it's going to be part of our nature. Some of us are going to be overcoming that nature as best as we can. But we've got lousy representation to show the world that we are changing. Yeah, we're changing, all right. We mutated into something else we didn't like, and now we got this hideous idea. You ever seen the show Twilight Zone? Rod Serling was making some points concerning about humanity. I may come across as an arrogant, vain asshole. I'll accept it. And then again, I gotta keep accepting that I can change that as well. My choice, my decisions. Coming across someone else's borders into their territory and saying, well, I'm American and I'm special, and you're just not. Yeah, we ought to be called on it. Because if we're happening to crossing into think of it this way. If we're going to be visiting some stranger's house next door to our home, we kept looking at his stuff with envious eyes. And we were coveting a great deal. We coveted his resources, whatever he's got over there. And what happens as neighbors, we will knock down their door, and instead of saying, howdy neighbor, how's things going? You got a second? Can we talk? Oh no. Oh no. We got marched to the door and said, how dare you be here? What you got in here is so damn special. What we're doing to everybody right now. The second scenario. Instead of living with this neighbor in peace for a long while, we go into this war situation. And we're arrogant about it. We're so arrogant we don't even realize it. And we point fingers at them. We're envious, we're greedy, and we're coveting. But also we have other people on the other side looking at the same neighbor and actually having relations with the person. Would one house be specifically the United States or someone else's? We're supposed to be a pluralistic society, and yet I think throughout the decades we've been forgetting about that one. We've been allowing our anger and hatred and fear of everybody. We want people to be controlled under one way or another. And that's the only way we think we're going to be able to get through life and get them through life, because now we want, and we got power, and we. Oh God, we're pissing all over people left and right. So in one aspect, yeah, we're developing that reputation left and right, saying that we're pissing on people because we think we're special. It's like taking a dog over to the next country and have the dog piss on someone else and then shakes his tail as he's going back across the border. Well, how would that person get pissed on feel about it? Reactive, huh? My question, why was that dog allowed over the border in the first place? Unless, of course, it was a wild dog. But if the country actually had a listing saying that no pets overseas are allowed, they must be quarantined first before crossing the border or being allowed in. I heard some countries actually have that to avoid a pissing match. But then again, a human being would be doing a pissing on it. I marked my territory. How's that grab you? Trying to prove a point that we're so much arrogance. But what about the other people who come across the border, learn the ways, and actually become a benefit? At one time, before we got into this pissing match regarding immigration. We were trying to do that. We weren't always perfect. Knowing American history and knowing the darker sides of us, we had this fear or this haughty attitude. But we weren't the only country in human history. We had empires before us. Before our pitiful country is going to be reaching 250 years, we had other countries had empires doing the same damn shit. I'm trying to put things into a global, timely perspective. It's not isolated. Think about that one. I know, it's hard to think about that kind of perspective, that panoramic, because of what we're dealing with right now in the immediacy. It's a shame that people keep forgetting human history or refusing to learn about human history. I don't know everything about human history, but I'm seeing elements that keep being repeated left and right. And yes, maybe we do need to learn humility and humbleness and learn respect. Inviting a prime minister over to the White House just to piss on her. And he expects help out of it? Believe me, we keep yelling and screaming at the bastard, but that's the only thing we can do in the country right now as it is, unless we're going to be breaking laws and rules and regulations. We keep telling ourselves we weren't going to do, unless we're going outside those to really do a pissing match. And not just on the country that we already made lose face, but on our own leaders. Yeah, there's got to be some of us are also pissed off at what we've done. But it has to be the right way to react. And sometimes there isn't a right way. I don't have answers for the world. I don't have answers for anybody. I don't have answers for you. But every time I keep seeing your stuff, you never identified yourself. Maybe that's a problem I've got a problem with. People who keep making generalizations that don't put their face out there and don't put their name out there. My name is John Weaver. I live in Roseman, California. I am a Californian, and I'm also a United States citizen. What about you? Guard the leaf. What's your excuse? That being said.